Hey everyone, I hope you had a wonderful Resurrection Day yesterday. It was wonderful to be able to worship with you, even if just online. And so I hope that that was an encouragement to you. I wanted to jump back on today with our everyday faith for the week. And so today I want to pick back up where we were a couple weeks ago as we were talking about the qualities of God and who God is. And so today I want to talk about how God is sovereign. God is sovereign. Now, this word sovereign, this is the same kind of word that's being used when we speak of a king. This is God's kingship over us. I was having a conversation earlier today with someone, and I was thinking about and talking about how I like to be in control. If you're a control freak like me, we want to be able to make decisions. We want to be able to do things our way. We want to be able to have some type of authority over the environment around us. And this is a very human thing. It's a very natural thing. But that doesn't mean it's a very godly thing. In fact, really, when we're at our best, we acknowledge and we understand God's sovereignty over us. For me, I think there are a few things that we really like to be in control of. We like to be in control of relationships, other people. We like to be able to know what decisions they're going to make, be able to influence decisions sometimes. Sometimes we can like to be in control of the circumstances around us. We want to be able to say, whether it be with a work schedule, whether it be with health of those that are around us, or whatever trial may come into our lives, oftentimes these things go off script and it makes us feel anxious, makes us feel nervous, makes us worry and be fearful. Some of us like to be in control of, many of us, our possessions, right? We've all known the person that got a new car, right? And someone else drives the new car, maybe a teenage son, or maybe a friend borrows the car and then they bring it back and there's a scratch on the car, right? And they're so worried about the scratch on the car and they want to be in control of their possessions. And these are all normal and natural things. Many of us want to be in control of our bodies, where we want to exercise and take care of our bodies. And none of these things by themselves are bad things. But the problem comes in when we have that need to be in control, where we have that need to be the king of our own little world or the queen of our own little world. Because in reality, as we look at the sovereignty of God, we have to acknowledge that God is the king over all. I love what David writes here. David, the great king of Israel. He wrote this in 1 Chronicles chapter 29, verses 11 and 12. This is what he says. Thine, O Lord, is the greatness and the power, and the glory and the victory, and the majesty, for all that is in the heaven and in the earth is thine. Thine is the kingdom, O Lord, and thou art exalted as head above all. Both riches and honor come of thee, and thou reignest over all. And in thy hand is power and might, and in thy hand it is to make great and to give strength unto all. You see, as we look around at the world around us, we have to remember that even though we like to be in control, or we think that we may be able to influence a part of it, whatever control, whatever influence, whatever ability, possessions, health, circumstances, all of these things belong to God. And that's not a bad thing, because God, as we've already spoken of, is limitless. He's not bound by anything. We're going to talk about in the next few weeks how God is omnipotent. He's all powerful. He's able to execute justice and judgment over all things. He's omniscient, all knowing. He knows and understands all things. Omnipresent, sees all things. And this is the same God who rules over all things well. But if you're like me, oftentimes we want to climb onto that throne that he belongs on. And this is the time when we realize that often that we're insufficient. We aren't enough. We're not able to fill into that role. But that's okay, because you weren't made to, and neither was I. And so today, as we begin this week, as we follow the resurrection weekend, as we celebrate Jesus and the gift that he gave to us and how he died, was buried, rose again on the third day, I want to take it, I want to celebrate God's ruling over us, God's understanding of all of these things. Because he is good, because he knows all of these things, we can trust him to be the sovereign God that he is. And watch what David says here in verse number 13. Now therefore, O God, we thank thee and praise thy glorious name. in response to God ruling and reigning over us. That's how you and I can answer. We can be grateful, be thankful to him for his kind and his loving rule and reign. And watch this, we can praise his glorious name. And so I hope today that you'll take a minute and that you'll be grateful for the things that he has done for you. Be grateful that he is the one that is watching out for, that is caring for and ruling over in a perfect way. And be grateful for the truth that he is worthy of our honor and our glory and our praise. Hope it's a help for you today, and look forward to being with you tomorrow as we continue through Everyday Faith.